Alright, so I'm on my actual PlayStation now. No more emulator, no more PC. This is real console, real PlayStation, PlayStation 2. And I want to bring all this together by talking about how you practice elevator manip. So let's load into the game here. The best way to practice elevator manip is to prepare yourself 3 different save files. And the usefulness of each one is going to become apparent as you'll see. So the 3 different save files that I would suggest that you make. One is right in front of the Shinra HQ. So this is after you've seen the Eris cutscene or gone to Eris's house, after where their whole waterfall glow thing happens, right? This is right in front of the elevator, basically. Shinra building in front of when you're about to do the elevator. You should also have a save file from Eris's house, like before you do the Eris cutscene. So this is before you do the cutscene, when you would be counting waterfall glows. And the last one is a save right before you do the squats minigame in Wall Market. So just before squats, make a save in Wall Market and have these 3 available. So let's talk about each one of them. Now, when you first boot up your console, your list is 0. List is 0 upon booting, and stone doesn't matter. It's 1, but at this point it doesn't matter. But yes, stone is 1, list is 0. And so what that means is you could just load up this file that you have in front of the elevator, and you could just practice list 0. So let's do that real quick. So you don't have to worry about list changing on this scene, because, yep, list doesn't change on this scene. Here we've got my WordPad document. Since we're on list 0, here's the 0 manip right here. And then we've also got flow timer here. So the sheet, or my WordPad document says 20433 is what we should set the timer to. So all right, and then let's just get in there. So since we came straight here from booting the console, that means we know that list is 0, and we can just practice elevator manip itself by just practicing the list 0 way. Alright, and here we go. So, that is hold triangle as we get into the elevator, and then start the timer as we exit the menu. Hit that button once. Mash through the dialogue. Then run straight up until we're bonking, and that's the position that we hit circle from with the timer. So for me, it's 9 beeps. On the 9th. And we got 19, so that's a frame early. So we're looking at 10, 6, 1, 5. Alright. First one is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since we were right on, it was 10. So then the next one is 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we were 1 late. So then also being 1 late means that the 1 becomes a 0. So zeros are a little scary. We can't overshoot it. Perfect. So that was the 0. So then the 5 stays a 5. Alright, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 from being 1 late. And there you go. So from booting your system, your list is 1. Your list is 0, and so you can just do the 0 elevator manip for practice, just like that. Now, here's the deal though. If you wanted to practice 0 again, you have to hard reset your console because our list is now question marks. I mean, you could do the research and figure out what list you end at, but I've not done that because it just doesn't matter. If you wanted to practice this again at list 0, you would just have to reset your console. And that's a full reset, because a soft reset, like so, actually soft resets don't change your stone or your list at all. They are still whatever they were at the end of the elevator there if we soft reset. So once again, if you want to practice 0, then full reset your console, load up that file, and go again. But now we can talk about what if you want to practice other list values, or practice counting waterfall glows and then doing other list values. Well, that's where the other 2 come into play. You would use the Eris's house file in order to get the waterfall glows to count. However, before you can do that, we need to set stone to 33. Stone is always 33 when you're at Eris's house in a run, because it gets set there when you do the squats minigame. So that means that here we gotta actually load up our wall market file first. That's made just before squats. And we come up in here, talk to this guy, and just initiate the squats minigame, and that sets our stone to 33. And the fact that our list value is unknown because of the earlier practice, as well as just everything in here calling RNG, that's all good. Because the purpose now is to start from an unknown list. So there we go. Now that squats minigame has begun, stone is now 33, so we can soft reset once again. And now we can load the Eris's house save file in order to count our waterfall glows. Okay, so the way that I have it set up is in OBS, I have a hotkey that when I press the hotkey, it saves the last 10 seconds of my replay buffer. And I also have a source that plays the last 10 seconds of the replay buffer. So if I like flip between these, you know, do this kind of stuff, right? And now I hit F12, I can now switch over to this other scene where on the bottom right, that's my live gameplay. But on the left, that is the last 10 seconds of my gameplay before I hit F12, playing at 25% speed. So just look up, you know, OBS instant replay feature, something like that. You know, I set this up ages ago. I kind of don't remember how it works because I wanted to make this, right, just an instant replay scene. But now it's useful for speedrunning. So anyway, we are going to use that, and that's what I do. So what I generally do is after I hit F12, I maximize OBS so that I can see the preview window as big as possible and use that. So anyway, so if you're doing this, however you get your last 25 seconds or your last 10 seconds of gameplay to play back in 25% speed, that's that. So now that your stone is 33, you can load up this file, and then this gameplay right here is what we use to find our list. Just like we would in a real run. So right when I enter this door, boom, I hit F12. And then in a run, what I do is I mash until there is text up in the black void. So right away, so I hit F12 to save that game, to save that gameplay. And now I mash until the camera goes up, and then there's one more text box. Boom. So here's your opportunity now to switch over to this scene and start counting those glows. And it's going to be a little rough for me to do this with this setup right now, because I actually have to use a display capture for this stopwatch. Okay, so let's start now. And now every time it glows, I'm just going to click this lap button. Boom. 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 Yeah. 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 And as you can see on the bottom right, we have tons of time to do this without having to do any mashing. And there we go. So, now, once you've done that, you can return to mashing, return to your main scene. And this this time, though, is now what we're going to use in the spreadsheet. So we're going to count down and count down the list here, going up the spreadsheet. So let's do that here. I've got turbo on just to get through this cutscene now, but normally you wouldn't have to be explaining it, and you can do it a lot faster. So that pattern is 1 1 3 1 3 3 2 2 2. And now you have a couple options. We'll show you. So this right here on the spreadsheet, this list value. So right here we see, yes, it only found one list value for this particular sequence, and that's 32. So actually, again, if you just want to practice elevator manip with different lists, you can quickly cross-reference this with the WordPad document over here, which says, you know, we can take away the spreadsheet, look at the WordPad document, excuse my hiccups here, and we can see, oh yeah, 32, that's eligible. Highlight it with the asterisks, Control F, enter, and then boom, here's 32. So now, since we're on 32 now, we can just soft reset, because again, the spreadsheet, if we look at the spreadsheet real quick, it's telling us that if we were to do normal gameplay in a run, you know, the things that we've talked about is that we can land on all of these different lists, you know, but right now we're on 32. And so that just means that if we soft reset, we're still on 32. And so you can just use that right away, you know? As long as that's one that has a manip, you can just use it right away. So we just soft reset, pop back here, load up at the Shinra HQ at list 32 now. Bring up our flow timer. This WordPad doc says 20367 for this one, and let's go. Let's try it. All right, here we go. So holding triangle, start the timer with exiting the menu. We got 17, so that's a frame late on this one. So 9435 is our manip. And here we go, 9435. So 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because we were right on. Alright, so the next one is 4. One, 2, 3. We were 1 frame late, so go. And now that late makes the next 3 into a 2. Alright, we were 2 late, so the 2 is 0. And the fact that we were late makes the 5 into a 4. And again, like I've been saying, being late is good. 1, 2 menu buffers, because we were 2 late again, so there you go. So as you can see, yeah, being late is good. You want to do less menu buffers for being late. You want to discount off the next one, you know, to make your next menu buffers fewer, right? The only time to not want to be late is things like this 1. You know, I wouldn't want to be late on this 6 because then this 1 becomes a 0. Zeros are really scary, you know, because you can't be late on those, or you have to go all the way around the wheel and do that like 15 buffers, like that one time, you know, stuff like that. So that's the thing to be aware of, but generally, though, being late is good because it saves you menu buffers. So there you go. That's like if you want to just skip right to the HQ and just try elevator manip on different on different lists. Now, if you want to practice the full thing, though, getting all the way to the HQ, on the list value that you're aiming for. So let's talk about that now. All right, so from here, we would once again, a soft reset or a hard reset, either way. But we do need to set our stone back to 33. Because remember, every time that you press the elevator button, your stone changes. And so to make sure that it's on 33, we just got to load the wall market save file again. All right, so stone is now 33 once again. We can soft reset and reload the Heiress house save file. And yeah, this time we are going to practice using the spreadsheet all the way, or like using the value that the spreadsheet gets you at the end, and actually doing all of the movement. So reload Heiress's house, and now it doesn't matter how long you sit around in this field, because all that matters is that we know what list we are when we enter the house, and we get that by whatever the last 9 glows are on the waterfall. So it doesn't matter how long you sit in this room. It just, all it does is it changes your list value, but not after the spot where, we need it. So anyway, right when I run in the door here, I hit my hotkey to save our, whoops, my hotkey also starts that scene, and I'm not in studio mode on OBS right now. But yeah, so I hit my hotkey that saves my time, or saves my replay. Mash until we get the text up here. There it is. So now I can pop over to this scene, start my timer, and then my little strat here is that every time that it glows, I not only hit the lap button, but I also blink. Because you're going to want to blink while you're doing this, and you don't want to blink at a time where you could miss one of the glows. But the glows will never appear until after a second, at least a second, after one glow. So just when you see the glow, and as you're clicking that lap button, just blink. Just give yourself a blink. Feels good, man. Just do it. Okay, we did not get a blink at the end right there, which can be a little scary. But alright, so here's our spreadsheet. Here is our timer. And then we can get rid of some of this old spreadsheet data here, and then type in our last thing, which was 223113231. Mash through a little bit more text. All right, now we got more time. Okay, it found us list 136 from that, and it looks like we can get 16 if we wait 5:46 to 58. I really like these zeros on this column, and so that's a little brutal, like having to wait 7.5 seconds here, but I think we'll be fine. So all I really memorize at this point is first of all, we're going to be on list 16, right? And so on my WordPad document, then I would go over to the WordPad document and just highlight the 16, right? Boom. Done. So that's memorized. Then I would just memorize at this point, and I usually just say it out loud, 5:46 to 58, regular movement. Yeah? And that's all we need. 5:46 to 58, regular movement. All right? Alright, on this part we got to get ready for the camera to come down, and then buffer for our movement out of the house. 5:46 to 58, And then, of course, remember this whole 546 to 58 thing is talking about how long we stand outside of Eris's house before pressing left, while also holding X, in order to allow the waterfall to advance us to a more favorable list value. So, looking at that now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 46 to 58. All right. So now, don't forget to do your shop here. And then just remember which screens matter. This screen doesn't matter for list, your movement. This screen doesn't matter. This screen doesn't affect your list value. But this screen is live on steps, though, and the last one. So, you know, steps are important. But no little bonks and stuff don't really matter. Because your list value is going to be fine. And then if you're doing lots of practice, this fight actually is going to be a different formation each time, because your formation ID, you know, stays where it is when you soft reset. Alright, so then this screen is one of those perfect movement screens. So practice your perfect movement here. Then this screen doesn't matter. But then this screen, practice your perfect movement. Alright, and then this screen, practice your perfect movement. Alright, buy them batteries. And then, good movement to the kids. Alright, and then this screen, your list doesn't matter once again. Alright. And then here's where we do a menu. My materia menu on this save file is a little different than the one that I went over before, because I guess I didn't equip ice, or I didn't unequip ice before, so that's weird. But alright. And now, the next screen, remember, is one that does matter, your movement. However, you only have to make the first cycle on the swinging bar. So it's a very big window. And so right here, after he says the 3 things, I think it's the next text box. Yeah, this one. So this is when now I would pop open my WordPad document, give it the Control F Enter to find Manip 16. Alright. And then I would also open Flow Timer here and set it. However, I didn't have enough time, really, to set Flow Timer. So that's okay. There's another spot that we can set Flow Timer. Alright, so remember, hit circle just after the squeak. 1, 2, don't mash. After the squeak. And then remember regular movement. I kept repeating regular movement. That means you just run up off of this into the next screen here. And then that means this screen, just do as well as you can. Up left. Into up right, down right, just right, into up. Alright, and then this cutscene right here, now is your other chance to set Flow Timer if you haven't already. So that's going to be 2400. Okay, and now we can just go. And remember, these screens outside here also, outside the Shinra HQ and in the lobby here, also list doesn't advance. As soon as you are out of that climbing sequence, as soon as you're out of that, that's when you have achieved, hopefully, the list that you have predicted. Alright. And so, if we've done everything right, our window is 19, 15, 17. right, 15. So that should be frame perfect, and then our manip is 5325, that means. So, first we get the battle. Alright, and now 5325. So first, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we were neutral. Alright, so then the next one is 3. 1, just 1, because we were too late. Alright, so then that makes the 2 a 1. So the next one is 2, but instead it's 1, because I was 1 late. Alright, so then 0, because that was a 1 late menu. Alright, and then the fact that it was late makes the 5 into a 4. So now, the last one is 4. 1, 2, 3, because I was 1 late. And there you have it. So there's examples for you about just how to practice this on console. So that's why we've got those 3 save files, you know. One thing that I imagine trips people up a lot when they're watching this and when you're thinking about learning this is like, how do you know, all of this like weird math that you have to do at the end, you know, as far as quick, well, also the visual cues, as far as quickly recognizing those hair patterns, and then also, you know, knowing about discounting the frames, and that kind of stuff. That's what that Shinra HQ is for, right? Just hard reset your console each time, you know, and just do that 0 over and over, right? To just to master. To try to master that manip, right? Or then, once you want to start trying other manips, right, then you can use the waterfall glows just to get this number right here to say what number are we currently on. And if that's a manipable one, then you can teleport, you know, just soft reset, and from the Eris cutscene, load up the Shinra HQ, essentially just teleport right to Shinra HQ, preserving that list, practice that one. And then once you're actually comfortable with the elevator itself, the manip in there, then I would say start doing the full thing of going from, you know, all the way from Eris's house to the Shinra HQ, and doing the full manip. Just remember, anytime that you're gonna go counting waterfalls, do the squat, initiate that squats minigame and soft reset so that your stone is 33, because otherwise it's not gonna work. But there you go. There is a on real actual hardware. Those are some a explanation of how to practice, as well as just some extra examples for you. I hope that helps.